Hey guys, what's up? Andrew here, obviously, and I'm back with another vinyl collection video, part 9, I think. Yeah, 9. Um, 7 records here, some punk, some 70s rock, some early 80s heavy metal, some thrash. Great selection, great variety. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so first off is actually I left this out of another video when I did the right before I did the Metallica video, like part, I don't know, 6 or whatever. I left it out because I honestly completely forgot I had it, and I might as well just show it off. I got this Record Store Day 2018, and I don't even know why I have it. So this is Led Zeppelin 7-inch featuring alternate mixes of Rock and Roll on side A from Led Zeppelin 4, and then Friends from Led Zeppelin 3, a different mix of that on side B. I don't know why I got this. It is actually, I don't have a sleeve on it because I don't have 7-inch sleeves, nor do I have an inner sleeve. It actually came without one. So, cringe all you want. It's on yellow vinyl, and it's got this odd kind of center label. Never seen that Atlantic center label before, but I got this Record Store Day 2018. Again, I don't even know why I have this. I don't even really listen to Led Zeppelin anymore. And I had the opportunity to get a big, huge David Bowie live 1978, 77, big, huge live album. And I passed it up for this shit. It just sounds slightly different from the studio versions. It doesn't really matter. So, if you're into Led Zeppelin, you don't need to fucking hear this. Seriously, no. But I just thought I'd show it off. Next up, now let's get to the 7 albums. Well, let's talk about another band I don't really listen to anymore. This was like my favorite band of all time for about like 4 years, from like 2013, 2014, 2015, maybe a little bit of 2016. This was my favorite band of all time. Don't really listen to them anymore. Queen, News of the World. Queen, obviously, as you all know, British arena rock band, one of the most famous bands ever. Recently had that, not recently, but a couple years ago, I think, at this point, they had that biopic with the guy from Mr. Robot. If it wasn't for Lords of Chaos, that would be the most historically inaccurate biopic I've ever seen. But Lords of Chaos just... Anyways, Queen's not really an album band, to be completely honest with you. They're more of a singles band, which, hey, look, I love the Smiths. The Smiths are a singles band, not an album band. But the Smiths, their B-sides are just as good as their A-sides. Queen, you can definitely say that a little bit, but on this one, I don't know. What's really cool about this, though, this is, I don't even know if this is an original press or not. It's old. I don't know. Is that the gatefold is like this, which is really cool that the gatefold folds down like that. I'll show off the back. Love this artwork. Really love this artwork. Reminds me a lot of Iron Giant. And then obviously standard black vinyl. Center label is the Queen kind of emblem with the 4 animals that represent the 4 band members. So yeah, I don't really listen to Queen much at all anymore. I'm not even gonna lie. I just don't really listen to them anymore. It's not even like I give this a spin every now and then. I just don't listen to it. I mean, Queen are just... they're overplayed, in my opinion. They're not a bad band by any means, but they're super overplayed. Especially on an album like this. Let me flip it around so I can read the songs. I'll keep this down because that looks weird having this upside down. I mean, this album starts off with "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions." Like, I don't need to hear any of those songs ever again. Especially "We Will Rock You." Oh my god. "We Are the Champions" I can maybe hear like 2 more times in my life. That's about it. This does actually have "Sheer Heart Attack" on it, which was the title track from obviously Sheer Heart Attack from a couple years previous. That's a really good song. Everything else is whatever. It's not a bad album. It's whatever. If you're gonna listen to a Queen album, I would definitely recommend Queen 2, Sheer Heart Attack, Night at the Opera, and that's kind of it. I mean, they're really not an album band. So yeah, I got this for Christmas a couple years ago because that's when I was really into Queen. But yeah, I think this will be the last, unless I really, really want to listen to Sheer Heart Attack or Queen 2 or Night at the Opera again. I might get those on vinyl, but there's a good chance that this might be my first and last Queen album. No disrespect to the band, I just don't really care for it anymore. So yeah, if you're into Queen, you know this album. If you're not into Queen and you want to get into them, just listen to your local classic rock radio station. Go on YouTube and look up music videos. It's not that hard. If you want to listen to some, go ahead. It's just not amazing. Next up, let's talk about a band that I actually do really, really enjoy still. Commonly referred to as the alpha and omega of punk music. And while, you had proto-punk before them, MC5, the Stooges, Monks, so on and so forth. These guys are commonly considered to be the first ever, what we know today as punk. The Ramones, or just Ramones. This is a bootleg, and this is a really, really cool bootleg. It's the Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World bootleg, recorded live at the Old Waldorf, San Francisco, 1978. This is, man, I know some of you don't like bootlegs, and I understand why, but this is so cool in my opinion. I love the way the logo looks in that color. That pinkish magenta-esque color. And then you get the record, and then you get that same logo and that same color on the center label. And it's a Ramones live concert from their peak. So how many songs are on this album? That many. There's a ton of songs on this album. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 songs. And that's going off my math, and I failed 2 math classes, so maybe I'm not the best judge for that. I can't even count the amount of math classes I failed. Anyways, that's not important. This sounds pretty good. It's the Ramones. Peak era Ramones. The songs are catchy as hell. I love the Ramones. I know a lot of people on here don't because they're too simplistic or their lyrics are dumb or the songs all sound the same. I love the Ramones. They're so much fun. One of my favorite punk bands ever. Not my favorite punk band, but one of mine. So if you want to listen to Ramones live concert, there's so many good ones. This is just another good one. So if you're into the Ramones and you want to hear more stuff than just the more famous official live albums from the Ramones, definitely check this out. It's great. Sticking on the same track, we have Road to Ruin. Road to Ruin was my first ever Ramones album that I listened to from start to finish, and it's really, really good. It ends what many people consider to be their 4 classic album quadrilogy. Let's go with that. Starting with the self-titled debut, which is seemingly everyone's favorite from that era. Mine is, well, I'll get to that. Then you get to Leave Home, which is great. I'd say it's even better than the debut because it's better produced. You get to the third album, Rocket to Russia, my favorite. I love Rocket to Russia. We're a Happy Family, and especially Teenage Lobotomy. That's my favorite Ramones song ever. Then you get to this one. Poppier, but the Ramones have always been kind of poppy. Love the way the yellow looks. Cool picture of the band on the back. this song, or excuse me, this album is most famous for having arguably their most famous song. It's like, if you were to talk about the Ramones' most famous songs, you got like 1A and 1B. You got Blitzkrieg Bop, which opens up the self-titled debut, and you got the song that opens up side 2 on this album, I Want to Be Sedated. Great song, but there's so many good songs on it. I Just Want to Have Something to Do, I Wanted Everything, Don't Come Close, I Don't Want You. Needles and Pins is definitely a super poppy song, but it's just so good. I'm Against It's really good. I Want to Be Sedated, obviously. Go Mental, Questioningly, She's the One, another great one. Bad Brain. I wonder who heard that song in the 80s. It's a long way back ends the album. Out of the 70s era Ramones stuff, this is actually my least favorite, but it's still really good. I don't remember if I said if Rocket to Russia is my favorite Ramones album or my favorite from this peak era. It's my favorite from the peak era, but my favorite Ramones album actually isn't Rocket to Russia. It's Too Tough to Die, which is a super underrated album. It's all 80s sounding. It's got hardcore elements. It's got, new wave and gothic elements. It's a fucking killer album. If you want to get in the Ramones, listen to the first 4 and listen to Too Tough to Die. I don't really care for the 2 Phil Spector albums, not because of Phil Spector as a person. I just think those albums are not good. Everything after Too Tough to Die is okay. The album in between Too Tough to Die and the Phil Spector albums is okay. But I guess like the late 80s stuff into the early 90s stuff, that's really good. I think that stuff is super underrated. So, Ramones, very underrated band. People just hear their 2 most famous songs and think, oh, well, it's fine, whatever. Really cool band. I definitely recommend them. Next up, before we talk about some more punk, let's talk about some 80s heavy metal. This is one of the most famous hard rock heavy metal bands of all time, but they've released a lot of albums, starting in the 70s and going till the 2010s. At a certain point, you don't have to listen to anything else. You could just stick with you could stick with their debut and all the way up to this album, and then you don't have to listen to anything else afterwards. I'm, of course, talking about Scorpions. German hard rock heavy metal act. Their 70s run of albums, I don't think this is a controversial opinion. I think it's all amazing. I love all those albums. The 80s run of Scorpions is where Animal Magnetism is really, really good. This one it's okay. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. Don't listen to anything after that. You really don't have to. Even I know Love at First Sting has Rock You Like a Hurricane and Still Loving You. I get it. You don't need to hear it. You really don't need to hear it. Especially considering the early run albums, you don't need to hear it. Let's talk about Blackout though. Of all the Scorpion albums that I enjoy, this is still my least favorite. Not because it's the most popular. Show off the center label and the cover. Not because it's the most popular, but they go into a more mainstream sound, and while songs like No One Like You, which is the big huge single off this, that's a great song, everything else is just kind of okay. It's unfortunately one of those 80s albums that is really, really popular for the lead single, and then everything else on the album sucks. I wouldn't say everything else on this album sucks, but it's okay. The title track's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. I guess I'll show off lyric sheet. Really cool picture of the band. Yeah, but I couldn't even tell you my favorite 70s Scorpions album, or just favorite Scorpions album in general, because there's so many amazing ones. I might say Taken by Force one day, Virgin Killer the next, Love Drive the next, or one of the like first two albums, which are really Fly to the Rainbow. I think it's called Fly to the Rainbow. Lonesome Crow, stuff like that. It's just so fucking good. So if you only know the popular Scorpion songs, you're missing out. You are missing out. And if you're gonna sit here and try and tell me that something after this album is better than a song like Sails of Charon, which is the definitive greatest Scorpion song ever, bar none, I don't want to have a discussion with you. You don't know what you're talking about. Good album, but if you want to get into Scorpions, listen to their earlier stuff. Next up, let's talk about some more punk. Oh boy. I enjoy 70s punk. I think it's got a really cool sound. At least like late 70s punk, like Ramones and Damned and The Clash, especially early Misfits, stuff like that. I really enjoy that stuff. This is one of the most famous punk bands of all time, and I kind of think they're a little overrated. Sex Pistols, never mind the bollocks. Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. Sex Pistols, British punk band, one of the most famous punk bands of all time. I first got into these guys when I was first getting into punk. Well, actually, no, I can't say that. All the song titles are on the back. That's cool. I can't say I enjoyed these guys when I first got into punk because they were really kind of more extreme than the Ramones and Clash, right? Cool center label. And then obviously, oh, there's nothing there. Oh, you got this, which is pretty cool. They were a little more extreme than the punk that I was used to, so I didn't really care for them. And then I got into them around the time I got this album, which would have been like early freshman year of college. I went to the college bookstore and I picked this up. Yeah, I liked them. No, I don't. They're okay. This video is a lot of albums that I don't really care for anymore. I didn't plan it that way. It's a fine album. Pretty Vacant. Alright. Liar. No Feelings. God Save the Queen is probably one of the most famous songs. 17, New York, EMI. EMI is pretty catchy. Submission, Anarchy in the UK is obviously the most famous song. It's okay. Problems, Bodies is pretty good. And then Holiday in the Sun is another really good song. But this is all they did, so it's okay. I get it. It's one of the most famous punk albums ever. It was super influential. I get it. But I just don't care for it anymore. To be fair, punk is very similar to thrash in that there's only like a select few bands that I'm going to listen to anymore from the genre. My favorite punk bands, probably like Minor Threat's my favorite punk band of all time. The Clash, London Calling is like in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Misfits, the Danzig era stuff is pretty much perfect in my opinion. Crust, I've been getting into a little bit of Crust, but I'm no means an expert, so I'm not going to try and sit here and act like I'm a Crust expert, but I do enjoy it. This is okay. If you want to get into punk, listen to something like this. If you already are into it, cool. Ah, boy. Anyways, second to last album is actually an album that I really, really enjoy. It's not my favorite album from this band, but it's easily their most popular. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. The album is, as you can see, it's a little fucked up. Look at this. When I bought it, I didn't know it was like this, but yeah, it's split, as you can see. I'm sure I could probably fix it. Lyric sheet kind of looks like a menu for a diner. And I'll show off the super iconic album cover. Cool picture of the band on the back. Supertramp. 70s, pop rock, art rock, prog rock, whole bunch of different stuff. You can't really categorize them as one particular thing. This is so far and away their most popular album because it's got not one, not two, not three, but 4 major radio singles on it. The Logical Song, Goodbye Stranger, the title track, and Take the Long Way Home. That, if you spend any time watching car commercials on TV or you're on classic rock radio stations, they play those songs to death. And you know what? They're awesome songs. The rest of the songs are solid, but Supertramp have much better albums. Much better albums. My favorite is the true, it sounds pretty pretentious, but it's the true best Supertramp album, and that's Crime of the Century. That album is a masterpiece. Every song is amazing, and it's got big hit singles on it. It's an incredible album. If you want to get into Supertramp, I actually might tell you to start with this album because it's got so many of the hits on it. But then listen to Crime of the Century. But yeah, I really enjoy Supertramp. They're a really fun 70s rock band. So yeah, I highly recommend some of their albums. Just literally, I know that sounds pretty lazy of me to say, but pretty much every 70s album is good. And I would recommend to check out anything of that. So, yep, Supertramp, Breakfast in America, good album, not their best though. Final album, and let's keep with the theme of bands that I don't really listen to anymore, and albums I don't really listen to anymore. Thrash metal, one of the most famous thrash metal bands ever, and from the 80s. This band used to be my favorite thrash band ever. Like, I used to worship these guys. I saw them live with Slayer on their retirement tour. It was Slayer, Lamb of God, Anthrax, Behemoth. I can't, my pinky goes up if I try to hold up my ring finger. Behemoth, and then Testament, their debut, The Legacy. When I saw that concert, Testament was the band I wanted to see. That was the band I was most excited for. And part of that is actually because the time I saw Testament, Death was my favorite band of all time, and to see Steve and Gene up there was mind-blowing to me. So yeah, Legacy, the spine is kind of fucked up. You can kind of see that it's kind of going onto the front. I hate that. That is a super big pet peeve of mine, honestly, to the point where I really want to replace this because that pisses me off. 80s Bay Area thrash metal center label. You can barely even see it. What do I say about Testament? A lot of people say that they're Metallica clones. And to be completely honest with you, I know a lot of people say that they're Metallica like rip-offs to the point of rip-off. Cool picture of the band, lyric sheet. A lot of people say that they rip off Metallica. I don't hear it. I honestly don't hear it. And if you want to talk about someone who's listened to their fair share, listen to their fair share of 80s Metallica. Fuck it. Listened to their fair share of 80s Metallica and Testament. I don't hear it. I'll be honest with you, I don't hear it at all. Also, I kind of think this album cover sucks. The New Order album cover's solid. The Practice What You Preach album cover's pretty solid. I don't even know what the hell is going on. It's like shit in my opinion. I don't even like the color of the logo. It's like all green, whatever. Anyways, this has got so many classic songs on it though. Over the Wall, The Haunting, Bird Offerings, Raging Waters, COTLOD, First Strike is Deadly, Do or Die, Alone in the Dark, and then Apocalyptic City. Don't know if I showed off this picture of the band, but I'll do that now. There's so many great songs. The songs have such great lead work, guitar work in general, honestly. Alex and Eric are fantastic thrash metal guitarists. Chuck's vocals are awesome. The choruses, big reason why I love these guys was their choruses were super memorable and super, like, you could sing along to them, but they weren't cheesy in the same way of like Anthrax or whatever. But yeah, I don't really listen to them anymore. Taste change. I prefer technical thrash, black thrash, death. I talk about this all the time. So yeah, I don't really listen to this band anymore, but they are really good. I mean, if you're into 80s, I don't want to put that on because I threw the lyric sheet. If you want to get into 80s thrash, definitely check out Testament. If you're into 80s thrash, you've already heard this album. It's probably your favorite Testament album. I think I'm more of a New Order guy, but this is a great album as well. So, yeah, Testament. Good thrash band. I just don't listen to thrash anymore. As is pretty obvious since I talk about that in almost every one of these videos. But regardless, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.